get a good.
Hey baby, how's it going? Just give me the usual. You're not gonna believe this. I've been watching this guy on the internet, the Credit Crusader or something like that. I mean, this guy's, he's great. He shows you how to improve your credit. And it's like you add these trade lines or something like that, and your credit goes up 1,000 points. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. Guess what? I'm getting a new bike, and I'm taking you out with me. We're going for a ride. It's gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. Wait, I'm gonna go check my credit right now. He told me to get some app, Credit Karma, something like that. I don't know. Here, let me check it. What the? My credit's still dog shit. I don't believe it. This guy is dead meat. What the hell does he think he's doing? I gave him my money. My line hasn't posted. This is bullshit. Hold on, I'm calling him right now. Huh? Oh. Hello? Credit Crusader? Guess what? You're dead meat. My line hasn't posted. You ripped me off. This is bullshit. You're a dead man. The main man is coming after you. Oh man. Oh God. No post nightmares. Anybody who's worked in the trade line industry knows what I'm talking about. Everything's going hunky spunky until you get the phone call where someone wants your testicles on a silver platter. They basically are saying that you're a cheat, you're a scam, and you took their money, and they're coming after you. Everybody, I mean, it's like it's part of the industry. It's part of it's the name of the game. But I'm going to give you guys some tips in order to help mitigate that. So when situations like this happen, they're not quite as bad. So the number one thing that I will say as far as this is concerned is that you need to give your clients and customers realistic expectations. You can't tell them that, yes, I guarantee that this trade line is going to post in 5 days and it's going to raise your score 100 points. You really can't do that because there's a lot of things that are at play that are out of your control. And it's like, if you look back, there's some people who over-promised and under-delivered, and it came back and bit them in the ass. We all know who I'm talking about. So it's like, some of the things you can do is be upfront and honest. A good rule is that you should not guarantee 7 to 10 days that the line is going to post. In my experience, it's better to guarantee over 30 days. It's got to be over 30 days. Over 30 days, well, that's a long time. What the hell? I'm going to tell you why it's got to be over 30 days. It's because a lot of stuff can happen in the process of that person being added and it actually appearing on their credit report. And if anything, if there are any hiccups along the way, if you give yourself a 30-day window in order to fix it, it better allows you to be able to make up for it, catch it the next billing cycle. So it's better to do that. That way, when the client, if it doesn't post, the client doesn't automatically say, oh, you screwed me, you scammed me. You can say, hey, wait a minute now. I told you that I guarantee 30 days, not 5 days, 7 to 10. It's like, it should post. You can say it should post in 7 to 10 days or 5 days or whatever, but you do not guarantee that. That is definitely a good rule, to implement in your business. Another one is, as far as quantifying how much the score is going to go up. I mean, there are so many factors at play. They could have, negative items. They could have missed payments. They could have cards that are on there that are actually helping their score. There could be, there's a lot of things. So for you to say it will raise your score, 63 points, it's like that is not a good way to run your business because chances are you're going to either fall short of that number or, it's just not going to work out and the customer's going to be upset even though the line posted. So it's like you got to really be upfront and honest and be like, yes, you can add authorized user trade lines onto a credit score. Yes, your score will probably go up, but you cannot quantify and say, definite numbers. I would never. And that's just something, that I've learned. There's another thing I'd like to let you guys in on, and that's, there's a lot of different sources out there to get trade lines. Sometimes you're going through a broker who is, part of, helping with credit repair and things like that. And other times you're going directly to the trade line supply company. Now, in all instances, all these entities, they're not created equal. And, it's like some companies are better at, doing the credit repair and the trade lines, and others are just better at doing trade lines and selling them wholesale because they sell on a mass scale. So it's like, if you go to a trade line, supply company thinking, oh, I'm going to get a deal because, I'm getting them at wholesale, you need to know this, is that you need to have a basic understanding of how credit works, because they're just going to sell you the line. They may not tell you everything you need to know. They're just going to sell you the line and call it a day because they're used to dealing with brokers and people who know, what time it is as far as getting this stuff to post and what you need to do. So if you just go to a trade line supply company, think, oh, I'm going to save money, and then it doesn't post because you needed to do something and they didn't tell you because they assumed that you knew, that's definitely something you can run into. So just be aware of that. Now I'm going to go over some of the most common no-post issues that I've run into in my years in the business. Number one, believe it or not, the number one reason that a client will call and say their line didn't post is because they don't even have credit monitoring and they just, assumed it didn't post. They're waiting for something to happen. I don't know. And they don't even have credit monitoring. Something that is mandatory is you must have credit monitoring on all three bureaus. Now, Credit Karma, Experian, they can do that for you for free, but it's like you need to know that they're only updated once a month normally. So if a trade line is supposed to post, it may have posted on the person's credit, but if their credit monitoring hasn't updated, that it won't show up until that updates. So that's just something you need to be aware of. And know when you get into this that, that's another factor. Now, there are ways of speeding that up, like Experian, you can pay to do a fresh report. Or here's another trick. You can actually go and sign up for yet another credit monitoring service like Wallet Hub. And when you do that, when you sign up for the new credit monitoring service, it will pull a fresh report just by opening up that new account. So that's definitely something that you guys can be aware of as far as if you want to check to see if a line posted and you don't want to wait for your credit monitoring to update. Credit Karma usually updates every 7 to 15 days. Experian usually once a month, but you can pay to pull a fresh report. Another issue that I see a lot is people don't realize that some trade lines are address-dependent trade lines. What's an address-dependent trade line? An address-dependent trade line is a trade line that requires the person who's wanting to be added to have the same address on their credit report as the card holder. It will not post, without that. Wells Fargo and Synchrony, those are two culprits of having address-dependent AUs. So basically what you need to do is you need to make sure on your credit report, you need to be able to add the address of the cardholder before you're even added as an authorized user. You can do it after the fact, but usually by that time, the person's all pissed off saying, hey, it didn't post, and you've kind of got to fumble and explain to them what the hell's going on. But one thing you can do is if the person gets added, you don't have to wait for the card to close again as long as that address gets updated. The second that address gets updated on the client's credit profile, it will then pull it in and it will show up on their credit report. So that's something that you need to know is if it's an address-dependent credit AU, that you need to make sure that address is on that credit report if it's not posting, because 9 times out of 10, that's the reason it's not posting. Yet another reason that cards won't post is that sometimes, believe it or not, the closing date of the card will move. Synchrony and Capital One, those are two culprits that come to mind when I think of having an account where the closing date will actually jump around. This can bite you in the ass because everything looks fine. It's like you got it before the closing date. Everything should be fine. What the hell's going on? Why isn't it posting? You need to make sure that the closing date didn't change, because if that's the case, then you have to wait until it hits that closing date in order for it to be sent to the credit bureaus and for it to post. And that can sometimes really screw things up. So especially for Capital One and Synchrony, you got to make sure that closing date didn't change. Another reason that there could be issues with posting is the card was shut down. Now, this does happen from time to time. It's pretty much the fate. If you're a card holder and you're adding and removing people on the regular, this is going to be the fate of your card or your account. Just know that. Not all cards get shut down. Barclay won't let you add anymore. Same thing with regions, but most of them will. Like Bank of America will shut you down. Citibank will shut you down. Synchrony will shut you down. Capital One will lock your account up so you can't do anything with it. They're a weird one. I've gone over this before. Another reason that a line won't post is that the information isn't consistent. There's something wrong with what was given to the trade line supply company, whether it be digits on a birthday or social security number was screwed up. The address is wrong. I've had people who are in the process of moving and they go and they give their old address or they give the new address, and that's not on the credit report yet, and the line doesn't post. And like, what the hell happened? I got a license that says this is my address. It's not what the license says, it's what your credit report says. The information on the credit report is what matters. So, making sure that all that information has got to be 1000% consistent in order for the line to post. Digits matter. Another thing that, can be, a mysterious reason why the line isn't posting is because there's a credit freeze on the account. Now, let's think about this. When people are going, wanting to add trade lines, what do they usually want to do beforehand? They want to go through credit repair. So if they're going through credit repair, usually what happens is a fraud alert or a security freeze gets put on their credit reports, for them to investigate, all the, disputes and what have you. And when that happens, AUs will not post. So if there is a security freeze on your account or your client's account, you need to make sure that that's removed before you add the trade lines, because the trade line supply company can add their stuff asshole perfect. It won't matter because the freeze is going to block it. And that's not really their fault that it didn't post. So make sure that there's no freeze on your credit profile. The last thing that usually causes a no post is some sort of communication breakdown. Like I said before, information that was given, got screwed up, because a lot of times, orders and what have you, they're sent through text message or email. Someone typed the digit wrong. Someone put avenue instead of road in the address. Someone got, 2 digits, mismatched in, as far as the birth date or the social security number. And when that happens, it's like, it sucks, but it does happen from time to time. A way you can, help mitigate, or help deduce that in fact is the problem with the no post is that you need to take screenshots or have screenshots available for when the person is added. That way you can cross-check the information that was given versus what was added to make sure that in fact was not the case or was not the reason for the no post. Because, a lot of these credit card companies, they don't have a back office that'll show all the information that you put in. So, so the only way you can really check is to have some sort of screenshot or documentation that, proves what exactly you put on that, how you added that person as an authorized user. So in concluding, if for some reason you have a no post or there's an issue, with your AU posting on your credit reports, don't go all postal and start freaking out and cursing people out and accusing people of things. Work with the person you bought the trade line from. Chances are they're going to be able to help walk you through a solution to get it to post in a timely manner. I hope this helps. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Crusader out.